Kahalo Yahweh Bashem Yavashai Bashem Akakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone of Rule Well. I am not a member, however, I have entered into their labors. Peace and mercy to the sincere brothers and sisters doing this, wherever you are, whatever your lot may be. So another quick one. I like this dude, man. Shaheed Bolson. I think his actual page is called King something. I don't remember, but if you just type in Shaheed Bolson, you'll find a lot of his takes on, the geopolitical climate and, how war is brewing. Physical, actual, all-out war is brewing. Okay, we understand who Amalek is. We understand who Ishmael is. And Amalek being the least of the flock. And we'll get that. I'm going to do my best to let this play uninterrupted and then get scriptures in the end. I'm going to try. No promises, though, right? So I actually want to read two scriptures. We're going to get that, and then how I believe Balak was given a parable, but he kind of prophesied about, Amalek's future. So we'll get both of those really quick. We're going to front load two, let it play. I'll do my best, but let's go first. Oh, there we go. First we'll go, obviously, the least of the flock. That is going to keep coming out because, good grief, it is blaring. It is screaming at anybody with eyes to see and ears to hear. This is Jeremiah 50 and 45 here, straight to the point. I believe it's 45. Let's see. Therefore, hear ye the counsel of the Lord, that he hath taken against Babylon, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. All right, at the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved, and the cry is heard among the nations. Right, and that can go into, you can link that into the other two chapters, one previous and one post after. All right, 49 through 51, especially where it talks about Babylon, and these letters are written to the exiles that were in Babylon at that time. But the endings, there's certain things that are in there, right, that you have to have an understanding of, that although this physical letter was written to the Israelite or the southern kingdom, Benjamin, Judah, and Levi, the vast majority, this was written to them in the Babylonian captivity. This also is a twofold letter that it's also here in the daughter of Babylon, all right, when it talks about the destruction of this place, or how it will be a desolation, and it's always linked. Every time you see Edom, you see Babylon, and you see, or Edom, Babylon, and Egypt, right, and how it will be a desolation, or how it will be a smoke. Okay, all right, house of Esau, house of Jacob, a flame, and Esau stubble. Okay, all right, and now the second. Oh, we don't need to go out. The second one we're gonna get, like I said, was Numbers, where it talks about Amalek. Okay, which is the head tribe of Esau, Edom, and who is at the forefront, of the antagonist in this movie that we are playing out. It is prophesied his end. Well, the entire nation, but mainly them. What did I say? Numbers. And yeah, Balaam was trying. So the backstory, Balak was trying to curse the Israelites, right? They're in the land of Moab, I believe, at this point right here. But you should read this on your own. And they want to curse, Balak wants to curse the Israelites. And basically Balaam is telling him, I can't do what the Lord, I can't go farther than what the Lord allows, right? And if these people are obedient, then we cannot curse them. You got to get them to go off, right? And in comes the idol worship. All right, so they welcomed them in, and Israel's a portion of our people went off, but that was quickly quelled. And again, you need to read through this entire book on your own, but that's just like a quick Cliff Notes version, a little background for what we're about to read here. The point is in 20, but I'm going to read the entire highlighted portion. We'll do 15. We'll go to 15. And he took up his parable and said, Balaam, the son of Beor, hath said, the man whose eyes are open hath said, God has a lot of hath said, he hath said, which heard the words of God and knew the knowledge of the Most High, which saw the vision of the Almighty, falling into a trance, but having his eyes open. I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and the scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and destroy all the children of Sheth. And Edom shall be a possession. Seir also, right? Because that's their home. Anywhere else other than Seir, and that is Jordan, present day, I believe. Gone there, you can see how they lived in those caves, or better phrased or worded, those clefts that dwell in the clefts of the rock. Okay, you can go find that scripture. There, you see those, and you kind of see the resemblance of how the buildings were built here, or first of all in Rome and in here, right? Because this place is spiritually within a parable. It is Rome 2.0. It is Sodom, Gomorrah 2.0 for obvious reasons. It is Egypt 2.0. All of the wickedness that has gone throughout these major kingdoms throughout the world, right? All the heathen had their chance to rule, and now it's in one big cigar, and that cigar is going to get lit and smoked. Okay, right here in Babylon. Babylon is a big cigar of wickedness from many different nations. And what's going to happen? Like I said, it's going to get rolled up and smoked. There will be a flame kindled. There will be a fire kindled here. We'll get that. What will I, if it be already kindled? Let me cue that before I finish reading. Okay, so I got that cue because I don't want to forget. So let's read this here. We're at 19. Out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city. And when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. Okay, and that is not only the head tribe, that is all of them. That is the entire nation. Not yet. Soon, but not yet. And then what will I? That's what I was going to get. Luke 12. And 47. That servant which knew his Lord's will, and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes. 49. So we'll read 48. But he that knew not and did commit the. Okay, no, we'll go straight to 49. I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it be already kindled? All right, but I have a baptism to be baptized with, and how am I strained till it be accomplished? Straightened till it be accomplished. All right. Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on the earth. I tell you nay, but rather division. And that is what we are seeing. The divide is already starting, has been started. Okay. So it first starts with the division, and then comes the fire. All right. Smoke is here, but where there's smoke, there's fire. There's a small flame being kindled until, that inevitable prophetic end of this place, where it speaks on, the population, their eyes being consumed in their holes, and their tongues being consumed while they're still in your skull. Okay. Since we got a couple scriptures, we got a good amount. All right, so I'm going to do my best, and we're going to let this roll. Let's let him say what he's going to say. Again, no promises.
Mind if you think that America entering the war and escalating the war is going to be good for you in any way whatsoever. They want to finish you. Don't you understand that? Look, construction in your country, in Israel, has already stopped. It already stopped 600 days ago. When your buildings get damaged, they're staying damaged. Do you understand? Do you have any idea how much more damage Iran can absorb than you can absorb? Their country is 70 times larger than you. 70 times. Their army is at least 4 times larger than you. And their soldiers aren't on TikTok. They're not quitting. They're not refusing to serve. They're not getting taken off duty for mental problems. They're not committing suicide. They're not killing themselves. No, it doesn't even matter how much damage America could potentially do to Iran. You cannot sustain a fraction of what Iran can sustain, and that's just a fact. If this goes on for even just 6 months, you're looking at an economic toll on your economy of upwards of $165 billion. That's 35% of your GDP.
Good grief. Joel 3 and 10, to the point of him saying about the Western soldiers being weak and refusing to serve. All right, because all right, the Lord said He made Esau bare. Okay, and you're not like the same old tactics that they thought that they could use then, they can use now. But the Lord said, it's over for that. So these other nations, we'll just read it. Joel. I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah. I said Job. It's Joel. We'll just read it. Joel 3 and 10. I went to Job though. Straight to the point here. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves. Come, all ye heathen, gather yourselves together round about thither, because thy mighty ones, cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. And let the heathen be wakened and come up the valley of Jehoshaphat, or judgment, Jehoshaphat. Okay. For there I will sit and judge all the heathen round about.
Double that if it goes on for a year, and it can go on for a year. If it's a full-blown war and Iran starts to get replenishments of their artillery from Russia, China, North Korea, whatever, and if they reactivate their proxies, oh yes, it can go on. And yes, the fact of the matter is that your people all have somewhere else to go when things get bad. Iranians don't. You understand? Iranians don't even have to carry out a mass casualty attack in Israel. They don't have to focus.
Sorry, I gotta stop it again. Where it talked about Russia and China, mainly Gog, right? So, and of course when it talks about Gog, but it's referring to the landmass. The people that occupy it are Edomites, but the reference is the landmass. Where though? Ezekiel. So the current people that are occupying, again, like I said, are still Edomites. However, the Lord, when He calls His prophecy, He's referring to the landmass. So whoever's there will carry that out, according to biblical prophecy. Right. So also keep that in mind. That might be something that some people might be confused about. All right, when this was written, that's why it's referred to the landmass. Okay, it is not exactly referred to the people all the time, but that's something you have to exercise discernment on and see. Okay, but that's just a little quick note to bear in mind if you are newer and you're reading these things and it's talking about, well, why would it say Egypt if in present day is blah 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 blah. Well, there you have it. Okay, sometimes it is referred the landmass, and other times it is the Lord calls out a people directly by name, mainly us, Jacob, and the other antagonist, the other character, the other main character, Edom, definitely calls us and them by name. Ezekiel 38 and 4, straight to the point. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, every great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords, Persia, Ethiopia, Libya, with all of them with shields and helmet, Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah, the north quarters, and all of his bands, and many people with them. There's a point that I needed, though. Oh, verse 7. I just got to keep reading it. Be thou prepared and prepare thy light, or prepare thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. Yeah, so you're seeing this play out here as the you-ish people are nothing but another arm of the so-called white or pale colonialist agenda. Okay, so if they have a foothold in the so-called or the improperly labeled or propagandized Middle East, it's actually Western Asia. Okay, shout out to Elder Malcolm. If they have a foothold there, then by proxy, so does the West. They have a foothold in the quote unquote Middle East or the Arab nations. So you're watching a change in how the super elite, all right, the super rich, those that are the movers and the shakers that we will never see, they're changing a business model. Okay, it's said before, and it's going from, the Babylon, the Chaldeans, or Rome 2.0, going around starting conflicts, and then they make money from these defense contractors, all right, by manufacturing weapons and, giving money to both sides. And now it is leaving the West, and they're having a change in business model, and they want to have their, headquarters, if you will, in the East. But, how about you outside? They got other plans, and if you know, you know. All right, you read the scriptures, and you are of understanding. You are given the gift, eyes to see, ears to hear. You know what's next.
On that. All they have to do is land one rocket in one building, and everyone in every apartment of that building is on a plane to New York. They're on a plane to Paris or to Moscow.
Yeah. So where is that in prophecy that the Israelites would return again? Right, because that would have been the second Exodus, right? In 1940 something. The scriptures tell you that they would dwell safely, and that the law would go from Jerusalem, right? World without end. King David would sit on the throne forever. Where is King David? Where is Yahushua? Where is the government coming out of Jerusalem, flowing unto all nations, that they may learn of the righteous ways? How are they the real ones if they are fleeing the land that they are supposed to dwell safely in, according to prophecy? Inquiring minds want to know.
They can literally depopulate your whole country just by targeting infrastructure. Because at the end of the day, you're all pampered Westerners, after all. You're not trying to live without Wi-Fi and cappuccinos. You know it and I know it. You're not ready to die for the Zionist cause. I mean, be serious. And then there's the fact that, what do you think happens if they escalate the war? What do you think happens when American soldiers start dying for you? Listen, Americans don't even want to see American soldiers overseas, supposedly dying for their own country in Iraq, in Afghanistan, where.
Right, because the people understand now, okay? Knowledge is being increased that you are not dying for freedom and democracy and to protect the homeland. You are dying for nothing. You are dying for the greed of somebody with a huge nose. I will just leave it at that.
Wherever else, according to the rationale that they give their soldiers and their soldiers' families. You notice that they didn't even send their own soldiers to go and fight in Ukraine against their arch enemy, Russia. I mean, firstly, what on earth makes you think that they're even going to be willing to fight and die for you when they don't even want to send their soldiers, like I said, to go fight and die supposedly for their own country, in various military engagements around the world? What makes you think that you're not just going to get Ukrained out of existence by your best friend, Uncle Sam? They're willing to fight Russia down to the last Ukrainian. What makes you think that they're not going to be willing to fight Iran all the way down to the last Israeli? Wallahi, you're not reading the room at all. Or you must be out.
And understand, it won't be the Rayleys that are fighting. It will be your sons and your daughters being sacrificed for nothing. Absolutely nothing. So with that being said, I pray that you're edified. Salakia, I know I said I wasn't going to stop the video, but I did. But prayerfully, again, you were edified with these precepts. I encourage you to go and read these chapters on your own. Get full context. Look at the cross references. Okay, piece together everything. Because this is just a something to go over, but you should piece together everything that was said here, and further your own understanding. Okay, that is how you seek the Lord. All right, Shalom.